Hey you, welcome back to Secrets with Maeve, the space for the conversations we usually keep to ourselves. I'm Maeve. Today we're talking about something I know so many of us struggle with in silence. 8 clear signs. You're prettier than you think, according to science. Let's get into it. If you've ever looked in the mirror and thought she wouldn't choose me, this might shake you because the woman you think is out of your league might already see you as the prize. Listen carefully. Most men have been lied to about attraction. You were told it's about jawlines, bank accounts, height, status. You were trained to compete in a game that was never designed for you to win. But what if I told you that highly attractive women don't move the way social media tells you they do? What if the woman you secretly admire is operating on signals most men are too distracted to notice? The first sign you're dealing with a highly attractive woman, even if she doesn't realize it, is that she doesn't chase attention, she filters it. A woman who knows deep down that she carries value doesn't need to prove it. She's not fishing for validation in every room. She's not dressing louder just to be seen. She's selective, calm, observant. And when she walks into a space, she doesn't scan to see who's looking at her. She watches who's not desperate. That's your first clue. Highly attractive women are used to noise, compliments, DMs, stares. They've seen men perform like peacocks their entire lives. So when she meets a man who doesn't crumble, doesn't overtalk, doesn't oversell himself, it disrupts her pattern recognition. And here's what most men miss. When she becomes slightly quieter around you, slightly more attentive, slightly more curious about your reactions, that's not disinterest, that's evaluation. You assume she's bored. She's actually intrigued because real attraction in a woman doesn't look like loud pursuit. It looks like focus. It looks like subtle shifts in body language. She angles toward you. She remembers something small you said days ago. She asks one unexpected question that cuts deeper than surface talk. That's not accidental. Highly attractive women test for emotional steadiness. They want to see if you get nervous, if you overcompensate, if you try too hard. And when you don't, when you stay grounded, that's when something clicks in her psychology. She doesn't want another fan. She wants a man who sees her beauty but isn't hypnotized by it. That's rare. Another sign, she doesn't advertise her options. She doesn't need to. When a woman is truly attractive mentally, emotionally, physically, she's aware of her leverage, but the mature ones don't weaponize it. They move with quiet confidence. They don't brag about who wants them. They don't compare you to other men to provoke jealousy. That's insecure behavior. And insecurity and high attraction rarely coexist for long. Instead, she watches how you handle yourself. Do you speak with intention? Do you hold eye contact without trying to dominate? Do you laugh easily, or are you tense performing masculinity? She's reading all of it because here's the uncomfortable truth most men avoid. Highly attractive women are not impressed by effort alone. They are moved by emotional control, by direction, by the feeling that you are not seeking her approval. You're offering an experience. And when she feels that, her energy shifts. She softens slightly. Her voice lowers. She slows down when she talks to you. She creates micro moments, tiny windows where you can step forward or retreat. Most men retreat without realizing it. They doubt themselves. They assume she's too good. They sabotage the moment internally before it ever unfolds externally. But if you learn to recognize this first sign, that her calm selectiveness is not distance, but discernment, you stop chasing illusions and you start seeing reality. Tell me something honestly. When you meet a woman who seems composed, self-contained, almost hard to read, do you lean in with confidence or do you shrink back and assume she's out of reach? Be real with yourself. Drop your answer in the comments. And if this already shifted how you see attraction, like the video, subscribe, and share it with a man who needs to hear what nobody ever explained to him. The second sign will confuse most men because it doesn't look like attraction at all. She challenges you not in a loud, argumentative way, not with drama, but with subtle resistance. A highly attractive woman, even if she doesn't consciously know her value, doesn't automatically agree with you just to keep you around. She doesn't shrink her opinions to make you comfortable. She pushes back, she teases, she questions your logic. And if you're insecure, you'll misread it as disrespect. It's not. It's calibration. See, women who are used to being pursued have seen every version of male behavior. The over-agreeable nice guy, the overly dominant alpha act, the nervous over-talker, the try-hard comedian. So when she meets a man, she tests for depth. She wants to see if you have a backbone without being rigid, confidence without arrogance, humor without fragility. When she lightly disagrees with you, she's not trying to win. She's watching how you handle friction. Do you get defensive? Do you shut down? Do you try to overpower her? Or do you smile, hold your frame, and respond with calm certainty? Highly attractive women are drawn to emotional stability because they already have options. What they don't often find is steadiness. A man who doesn't wobble when challenged. A man who can hold tension without needing to dominate it. Here's the deeper psychological layer most men miss. Attraction grows in contrast. If she agrees with everything you say, there's no polarity, no spark, no edge. But when she playfully challenges you and you respond with grounded energy, a subtle chemistry forms. It's not loud, it's electric. She'll lean in. Her eyes will narrow slightly in curiosity. She might smirk. That smirk is a green light most men walk right past. Another thing you'll notice about highly attractive women, they don't overshare early. They reveal themselves in layers. If she's gradually opening up to you, even in small pieces, that's significant. Women protect their inner world carefully, especially when they know men are often drawn to them for surface reasons. When she starts telling you what stresses her, what she values, what disappointed her in the past, she's not just talking, she's investing. And here's where most men fumble it. They switch modes. The moment she opens up, they either become her therapist or they become overly intense. They think vulnerability means immediate depth. It doesn't. It means trust is being tested. A highly attractive woman doesn't open up because she's bored. She opens up because she's assessing safety, emotional safety, intellectual safety. She wants to see if you can handle real conversation without losing your composure. Can you listen without trying to fix her? Can you empathize without becoming weak? Can you stay masculine without being cold? That balance is rare. And when she senses it, her attraction strengthens quietly. You might not see fireworks, you won't hear dramatic confessions, but you'll feel a shift. She'll text you first occasionally. She'll remember something you mentioned in passing. She'll bring up future-oriented statements casually, like imagining you in her weekend or asking your opinion on something personal. That's not friendliness. That's interest wrapped in subtlety. Highly attractive women don't chase loudly because they've never needed to. They invite, they create openings, and they wait to see if you recognize them. The question is, do you? When a woman challenges you, do you see it as conflict or do you recognize it as attraction testing your stability? Answer that honestly in the comments. And if this perspective just exposed something you've been misunderstanding for years, hit like, subscribe, and share this with a friend who keeps mistaking resistance for rejection. The third sign is the one that slips past almost every man because it hides behind normal behavior. She gives you access, not access to her body, not access to her time in unlimited amounts, access to her world. A highly attractive woman guards her world carefully, her routines, her favorite places, her inner circle, her quiet spaces. When she starts inviting you into those spaces, even subtly, you are no longer just another man in her orbit. You're being evaluated for permanence. Watch closely. Does she suggest a place she loves instead of meeting somewhere random? Does she introduce you to a close friend accidentally? Does she send you a song that means something to her? These are not casual gestures. For a woman who is used to attention, novelty is easy. Depth is rare. When she lets you see her without performance, no heavy makeup, relaxed clothes, real opinions, unfiltered laughter, that's trust unfolding. Highly attractive women are often put on pedestals. Men project fantasies onto them. So when she feels safe enough to drop the image around you, that's powerful. And here's what most men don't realize. When she feels she can be imperfect around you, attraction deepens because perfection is exhausting. If she cancels plans but explains why sincerely, if she shows you a vulnerable side she doesn't show publicly, if she admits a fear or insecurity without trying to package it nicely, you are no longer in the impress him phase. You are in the is he solid enough for me phase. That's higher ground. Highly attractive women are hyper aware of how men respond to their beauty. So when a man responds more to her thoughts than her appearance, it shifts something internally. If you notice she pauses when you speak, really listens. If she references your past conversations without prompting, if she adjusts her schedule slightly to align with yours, these are investments, small ones, intentional ones. And understand this clearly. Women who have options protect their time. If she consistently makes room for you, you matter. But here's the psychological trap. Many men, once they sense this access, become complacent. They think I've secured her and their energy drops. Their curiosity fades. Their edge softens. They stop leading moments. They stop being intentional. Attraction doesn't survive complacency. Highly attractive women crave emotional movement, not chaos, not drama, but growth, shared experiences, direction. If she feels momentum with you, she leans in. If she feels stagnation, she leans out quietly. You won't get a warning speech. You'll just feel distance. That's why presence matters. When she's speaking, are you truly engaged? When she shares something meaningful, do you respond with depth or with surface commentary? Because here's the truth. She won't say out loud. She wants to feel chosen for who she is, not chased for how she looks. When you treat her beauty as normal but treat her mind as rare, you separate yourself from the crowd instantly. And something else, if she becomes slightly protective of your opinion, if she asks, "What do you think about this?" With genuine curiosity, that's emotional positioning. She's integrating your perspective into her internal decision-making. That's intimate. So, let me ask you something direct. When a woman lets you into her world, her real world, do you recognize the weight of that? Or do you treat it casually because you're still focused on proving yourself? Be honest in the comments. And if you're starting to see how subtle real attraction actually is, like this video, subscribe, and send it to a man who keeps overlooking the quiet signs that matter most. The fourth sign is the one that humbles most men because it forces you to look at yourself. She becomes softer around you, not weaker, not submissive, softer. A highly attractive woman lives in a world where she often has to be sharp, alert, guarded. She's used to attention that isn't always pure, used to men trying to impress, compete, dominate, or extract something from her. So she develops a natural edge, a protective layer. But when she feels emotionally safe with a man, when she senses steadiness instead of neediness, that edge relaxes. Her voice changes slightly. Her body language opens. Her sarcasm softens into playfulness. That shift is not random. It means she doesn't feel the need to defend herself around you. And here's the part most men misunderstand. Softness is earned, not demanded. You cannot force it with dominance. You cannot guilt it out of her with emotional pressure. You cannot negotiate it with nice behavior. It happens when she feels that you are centered, grounded, unshaken by her beauty or her moods. Highly attractive women test unconsciously. If she's slightly moody one day, she's watching your reaction. If she teases you in front of others, she's measuring your composure. If she withdraws briefly, she's observing whether you panic. Men who panic lose polarity. Men who stay steady build it. When she senses that you don't crumble under small emotional waves, something inside her relaxes. She doesn't have to lead. She doesn't have to control the energy. She can lean back. And when a woman leans back emotionally, attraction deepens. You'll notice it in micro moments. She touches your arm lightly when she laughs. She holds eye contact a second longer than necessary. She lets silence exist between you without rushing to fill it. Silence is powerful. If she's comfortable in silence with you, that's intimacy forming, because comfort reveals more than excitement ever could. Another layer most men overlook. Highly attractive women don't feel impressed by intensity alone. They feel drawn to emotional safety wrapped in masculine direction. That means you can lead plans, make decisions, speak clearly without controlling her, leadership without ego, strength without hostility. If she starts asking you to choose the restaurant, if she defers small decisions to you willingly, if she follows your suggestions with relaxed energy instead of resistance, that's trust expressing itself physically, and trust fuels attraction. But here's the warning. The moment you sense her softness and you exploit it by becoming careless, arrogant, dismissive, you break the safety. And once safety is broken, highly attractive women don't argue loudly. They detach quietly. Their warmth cools. Their responses shorten. Their investment shrinks. You'll think she's acting different. In reality, she's protecting herself again. So ask yourself honestly, when a woman begins to soften around you, do you rise into leadership or do you get comfortable and sloppy? Because softness is not a trophy. It's a reflection of how safe she feels in your presence. If you've ever noticed a woman who seems strong with everyone else but gentle with you, what did you do next? Did you handle it with maturity or did you fumble it? Answer that in the comments. And if this just clarified something you've experienced but couldn't explain, like the video, subscribe, and share it with a man who mistakes softness for weakness instead of recognizing it as trust. The fifth sign is the one that changes everything because it has nothing to do with how she looks. She chooses you when she doesn't have to. A highly attractive woman has options. That's reality. Attention is not rare for her. Invitations are not rare. Opportunities are not rare. So when she consistently shows up for you, not occasionally, not conveniently, but intentionally, that is not coincidence. That is choice. And choice is the purest form of attraction. If she replies even when she's busy, if she checks in without needing something, if she makes time instead of excuses, you are not competing. You are being selected. But here's the deeper psychological truth most men ignore. Women who are truly attractive don't choose based on surface metrics alone. They choose based on emotional experience. How does she feel after interacting with you? Calm or drained? Inspired or uncertain? Seen or evaluated? If you create emotional clarity instead of confusion, you separate yourself instantly. Highly attractive women are exhausted by men who play games, hot and cold behavior, manufactured mystery, fake detachment. They've seen it all and it bores them. What they rarely experience is grounded consistency. When you are predictable in your character, but not boring in your presence, you become rare. That means your mood isn't dependent on her validation. Your direction in life doesn't pause because she entered the picture. Your boundaries don't disappear just because she's beautiful. When she senses that you value yourself as much as she values herself, attraction stabilizes. And here's the final sign most men completely overlook. She invests in your growth. If she encourages your goals, if she respects your time, if she supports your ambitions without competing with them, if she speaks about your future with subtle inclusion, when you succeed, not if you succeed, that's alignment. Attractive women don't attach themselves to potential. They don't believe in if she sees something in you and nurtures it. That's not friendliness. That's emotional selection. But understand this clearly. If you sabotage your own growth, if you shrink yourself because you're intimidated by her beauty, if you seek reassurance constantly instead of standing firm, she will lose attraction. Not because she's cruel, but because confidence is oxygen in female psychology, and oxygen cannot be faked. So here's the equation I want you to think about. Her beauty plus your insecurity equals sign distance. Her beauty plus your grounded confidence equals sign desire. Which side of that equation are you living in right now? Be honest. Drop your answer in the comments and tell me, have you been misreading signs because you assumed she was out of your league? If this opened your eyes, like the video, subscribe so you don't miss what most men never learn. And share this with a friend who keeps chasing validation instead of recognizing when he's already being chosen. Because sometimes the woman you think is unattainable is simply waiting to see if you believe you.